Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, May 16th, 2018. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Well, that certainly didn't take long. Yesterday, Baltimore Police Commissioner DeSousa resigned after he was federally charged last week with failing to file 3 years of tax returns. Mayor Catherine Pugh said, "I want to reassure all Baltimoreans that this development in no way alters our strategic efforts to reduce crime by addressing its root causes in our most neglected neighborhoods." Now, Mayor Pugh had initially put all of her faith behind Commissioner DeSousa on Thursday. By Friday morning, she had suspended him with pay, and this morning he is gone. DeSousa is charged for failing to file tax returns for 2013, 14, and 15. He was an employee of the Baltimore City Police Department, earning between $93,000 and $127,000. And as far as an excuse, DeSousa said, "I failed to sufficiently prioritize my personal affairs." Apparently, he also forgot to go to his mailbox because the IRS and the feds don't come and charge you until after they've tried to resolve it. Speaking of taxes, Annapolis taxes, maybe, I don't want to say they're going down, but they may not be going up as much as they had planned. The Finance Committee, led by Ross Arnett, is proposing a 9.9-cent increase as opposed to the 13-cent increase that Mayor Buckley had asked for. This comes on the heels after the discovery of City Manager Teresa Sutherland calculating that we should receive a $1.4 million in additional revenue from the income tax legislation that was passed in Washington earlier this year. Now, the Finance Committee will be putting on a full report of budget findings and recommendations at a public forum, and that is scheduled for May 30th at 7 p.m. at Maryland Hall for the Creative Arts. And if you haven't been to Maryland Hall lately, go check it out. It's got great stuff there as well. And one thing that the Finance Committee did slide in there is $80,000 for an assistant city manager position. Anne Arundel County Executive Steve Shue put out kind of a nothing press release yesterday saying that Anne Arundel County announces strategic light rail partnership to address community concerns. Basically, the county executive police chief Tim Altomare and a representative of the Maryland Department of Transportation MTA police went up to a light rail station and said, "We're going to put more police out here because we've gotten complaints." So if you live anywhere near the Nursery Road, North Linthicum, Ferndale, or Cromwell stations, you can expect to see more police officers in your neighborhood. The thousands of people who live on Fort Meade will have access to the ride-sharing service Lyft starting next month under an arrangement with the Department of Defense. Lyft is currently recruiting and training drivers who will be specifically certified to provide rides on base at Fort Meade, and only fully vetted and approved Lyft drivers will be given credentials for base access. More than 12,000 people live on base and more than 40,000 commute to Fort Meade each day, so that'll be a big boon for Lyft. In terms of fun, carnival season is open in Anne Arundel County. The Odenton Volunteer Fire Department's carnival was supposed to open last night, but the rain canceled it. But it does run through May 28th, and the cost is $25 for an all-you-can-ride bracelet. You can buy single rides, and you got to find out what the prices are when you get there. While the Maryland political candidates are scrambling to meet fundraising deadlines, voters have one deadline to keep in mind on their own, and that's June 5th. If you want to change your party affiliation or have a change of address, you'll want to update your registration. That needs to be done by June 5th. If you want to request an alternate polling place, June 5th. Anybody who is eligible to vote but hasn't registered yet, June 5th. And remember, if you are 17 years but will be 18 years old by the time of the general election on November 6th, you can register and you can vote in the primary. You can register online as long as you have a Maryland driver's license or an ID issued by the MVA. And you can also check your registration status online as well. Maryland's primary is on June 26th with early voting beginning on the 14th, I believe. And as we wrap up, just a real quick shout out to MacMedics. As I told you, we had some problems with our computers. We took them up to MacMedics in Severna Park. They shipped them out on Friday morning. We got them back early yesterday morning. and we are back in business. These guys are lifesavers. If you have any kind of Apple product, whether it be a Mac, a MacBook, iPhone, iPad, anything like that, and you've got an issue, avoid them all. Go up to Severna Park to MacMedics. I can't recommend them highly enough. That's about it for our top stories today. Make sure you check out eyeonannapolis.net because we update that consistently throughout the day. And hang tight, we've got George Young with DMV Weather coming right up, right after Sean O'Neill with RBC Wealth Management.
I'm Sean O'Neill, your local RBC Wealth Management advisor. When you choose to work with me, you'll have access to a worldwide network of financial products and services only available from a leading global institution. RBC's international reputation for physical strength and stability, world-class capabilities, and corporate values is unique in the financial services industry. I also recognize the importance of reinvesting in the communities in which we live and work, and I'm committed to serving my clients by building long-term relationships based on trust, integrity, and confidence. I look forward to helping you with your wealth management needs. Call me, Sean O'Neill, today at 410-573-6723 for a complimentary consultation.
RBC Wealth Management, a division of RBC Capital Markets, LLC. Member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Wednesday, May 16th. Today through Sunday will begin a period of days that will all seem to run together a bit weather-wise, and not so much in a good way, as each day Annapolis and all of Anne Arundel County will be looking at high temps in the 70s, low temps in the upper 50s to mid-60s, and a daily chance of rain showers and even some thunderstorms from a pesky frontal boundary that continues to hang around in the skies above, ultimately getting reinforced by a stream of moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico late week and in the weekend that will help add to the rainfall totals for the week. So keep that umbrella nearby, as it'll likely be needed more often than not until we get well into next week. Okay, that's it for us today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there, and be sure to follow DMV Weather every day on our website at dmvweather.com and on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on our app, which you can download for free by searching for DCMDVA Weather in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. But remember one thing while you're getting our app on all of your devices: whatever the weather outside, have fun and be safe.
Hey, it's May, and it's Maryland Podcast Month. No, Hallmark didn't invent this puppy, so there's no need to get a card, but do yourself a favor and give a listen to some of the other Maryland-based podcasts. Our right-wing friends, hey, they called us liberals first, at Red Maryland have put together a website called MarylandPodcastMonth.com, and it lists all of the podcasts that are participating this month. Throughout the month of May, many of us will be showing up on other Maryland podcasts as guests, and we'll have all sorts of antics throughout the month. Among the participants are Red Maryland and Eye on Annapolis, of course, and then others to cover every topic you can possibly think of. Podcasts such as Quality Time, The Maryland Crabs, A History of Maryland, The Conduit Street Podcast, Laugh Finder, The Extra Point Show, Society Fringe Players, The Mark and Lowell Show, The Engine Mom Podcast, and quite a few more. So go to MarylandPodcastMonth.com, check it out, get familiar with a new podcast near you, and of course, please let all your friends and associates know as well. And we will see you all May during Maryland Podcast Month.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.